All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good to have a good constructive debate.
I wasn't. Don't use that. This is Dan Dix here, reporting for Press for Truth.
And this is Josh Sigurdson reporting for World Alternative Media.
We're here in downtown Vancouver today because we're going to be asking people a little bit of a controversial question today.
In the wake of the Las Vegas massacre, we're going to be asking people how they feel about defending themselves with guns.
Let's see what they have to say. We're just curious today about what people's opinions are on Canadian gun control. In the wake of the Las Vegas shooting, there's a big debate about, the Second Amendment in the United States. What do you think? Should Canadians be able to own a gun for self-defense?
I think the current gun laws are very appropriate within Canadian legislation.
I personally don't think it's safe to have firearms. People personally carrying guns around the city it's totally something I'm against.
With the Second Amendment in the United States there to protect people's right to bear arms in case the government becomes totalitarian or, there's bad guys, right? Would you agree with Canada having similar abilities to bear arms if we wish?
Never.
Do you think that we should have a similar amendment in Canada?
No.
Why is that?
Because Canada's safe, so we should keep it safe.
No, I don't know.
Why is that?
Just doesn't really make sense too much. Like, it doesn't seem like it'd solve anything.
No, not at all. And especially like living in America too, it's insane what's going on right now.
No, I don't think they need one.
Why not?
I'm not sure. They don't, everything's fine in Canada the way it is.
Yeah, of course.
So you believe that we should be able to have kind of like a Second Amendment kind of amendment?
Well, of course. It'll knock down on the shootings in Surrey, that's for sure.
Oh, of course, for sure, definitely.
Do you think guns are important to safety?
Yeah, in some situations they are, but they should check first who's the person that's getting the gun or the weapon.
Well, personally, I have an FAC and I have a restricted firearms license, and I do own restricted firearms, but in no way, shape, or form do I believe that those weapons, and they are weapons, should be available to people the way they are in the United States. I mean, you can go to fucking Walmart and get a gun.
There is a bad person in the Oval Office right now, and nobody's shot him. Nobody's done anything that they so claim with the Second Amendment we are going to protect ourselves, and if the government go crappy, we're going to do something. And nobody's done anything, really, that's constructive towards getting Trump out of office. So.
Okay, so with that said, would you agree that there should be strict gun control in the United States under Trump?
Any gun control? The whole bump stock problem, get rid of those. Preferably assault rifles, human-killing guns specifically.
Okay, I think it's just important to mention this right now. So it would be Donald Trump that basically would be in charge when we'd be giving up they would be giving up their guns to the government. Wouldn't that be kind of like, if you think Donald Trump's bad, wouldn't it be bad to be giving up your guns to him?
Nobody's doing anything with the guns that they have right now. So why keep the guns if you're not going to be doing anything with them?
I find that generally people, especially in a city like this, a big city, people generally don't feel threatened or don't do anything unless they feel threatened. So if everyone's just happy and minds their own business and is kind to one another, then I don't really see the need for any kind of arms or guns or any kind of violence.
I can't argue with you on being kind to others. That's definitely something that we should do more often. But looking at places like Surrey, I'm from Winnipeg, a lot of homicide, a lot of rape, a lot of theft, and statistically in places with more guns, there is less rape, less theft, less violent crime. So with that said, would it seem a bit better for us to be able to have the right to bear arms if we wish to?
Not at all. I think that as long as you keep the peace and do your best to not intrude or I just think what goes around comes around. So if you're good to people and you live your life peacefully, then there shouldn't be need for any guns or arms or protection.
I think, gun control is a really important thing, and I think that there's a way of doing it that is, for hobbyists and for people that do, recreationally collect guns. I understand the drive behind it. It's cool to own a gun. It's fun owning a gun. I like going to the shooting range, and I like going out in the woods and blasting off a couple rounds.
The process for you for obtaining one, was it done smoothly, or was there a lot of bureaucratic red tape you had to jump over?
Well, I had to provide 3 references, the same as, getting same as getting a job with a large company or something like that. They're going to check you out, they're going to see who you are. And, if they're willing to do that just to get a job, never mind a firearm, I had to jump through a lot of hoops to get it, and I have it now, but I'm a responsible gun owner. My guns are locked in the safe, they have trigger locks on all of them. It's it's what it's supposed to be.
Do you think they should open up, because as it is now, you can get a gun for hunting in Canada, but you're not allowed to obtain one for self-defense. Are you okay with that, or should that change?
I think that the current conditions are appropriate for what is necessary at the time.
As it is now, for gun owners, they have to keep their guns and locked up in a safe. If they want to travel with the gun, they have to tell the police where they're going from point A, from point B. And the bullets have to be stored separately from the gun, I believe. Those regulations, are you okay with that?
I'm okay with those regulations. I feel very safe with those regulations.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Statistically, places with more guns in the United States have less crime. That's FBI, NSC stats going back for the last 40 years. So technically places where people have concealed carry or open carry have far less crimes. But then you go to England or Chicago where there's gun control and crime is rampant.
Well, then you have to look at other extenuating circumstances towards how you can prevent crime besides letting people shoot each other.
And how would that be?
Laws, referenda. I mean, I'm not a politician, I really wouldn't know. But I mean, I don't want people being able to randomly and wantonly shoot each other at any given point.
Do you think it's possible to just take people's guns at this point, take them away, or should that be looked at?
Well, that's going to be pretty tough to do, but it starts with just outlawing it and not making it available anymore, and then they can kind of seed it out, yeah.
Take time, but they can do it. Anything's possible.
Sure, yeah.
So, but let me just challenge you with this then. Wouldn't that be putting it more so in the hands of the government and the police? So essentially, you would be okay with the guns being in the hands of the police because somebody has to enforce, being able to take away everyone's guns. How else will you enforce gun control unless you have cops?
We're not saying go into people's houses and start taking away guns, because where do you think that's not going to be a good outcome?
Police have guns in Canada and police have guns in Australia, and there's not mass fucking shootings all the time in Canada and Australia and places that have gun control. Yeah. Simple as that. Gun control. Gun control, gun control. Yeah. If they get it, it will make America a better place. Simple as that.
It's not whether you have a gun, it's whether you should have a gun. Right. And should you? Probably not. Other than shooting in a range, there's no reason to have a handgun.
Right. But should you have the right to have one if you want?
Yeah.
I think that people should be able to feel safe walking the streets, and in places with more guns, there's less shootings.
That might be something that you agree to disagree. Because I'm a woman and I've never felt the need to carry a gun. And I've never felt that having a gun would keep me safer or more safe.
So are you for or against, though, gun control? Do you think that the guns should be seized in the United States?
Seized certain kinds, yes.
Like what kinds?
Assault rifles, guns with a high caliber and a heavy fire rate, high stopping power, stuff that's not meant for hunting or self-defense.
Well, almost all shootings are done with handguns, not assault rifles. A very small percentage are actually done with assault rifles.
Don't want assault rifles around. Just cover that base regardless, and Yeah, I don't know, handguns. I mean, if you want to get rid of those too, sure.
Of course, it would be Trump that would be doing it.
Sure, if it has to be Trump, if it has to be anybody.
Well, I mean,
nobody's doing anything about Trump in terms of violent or even much resistance at all, really. Much concerted resistance doesn't seem to be.
Well, Hitler took the guns, Stalin took the guns, Mao took the guns. All these dictators over time took the guns before seizing absolute power over the people and absolute authoritarianism. So if Trump took the guns, then wouldn't that just leave him open to be able to completely take over?
I mean, if he's smart enough. You know, all those other rulers had a certain amount of brains. They had enough brain cells to rub together and start some kind of plan. So I'm not as afraid of Trump as I would be of Adolf Hitler or Mao Zedong, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, Hitler spoke before he was in office about killing the Jews. Mao Zedong killed 50 million people, so...
I'm less afraid of Trump. Sorry, I'm less afraid of Trump than I am of Mao Zedong.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that with you.
I said that wrong. I'm less afraid of Donald Trump than I am of Adolf Hitler or Mao Zedong.
Okay.
Both of, they both were a hell of a lot smarter than he was, apparently. So...
Unfortunately. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good to have a good constructive debate.
It wasn't. Don't use that.
Well, that was pretty interesting to say the least. I'd say that we had probably just under half or over half were against guns, and we did have a certain number of people here who were in favor of it. What are your thoughts, Josh, about the ratio that we've found today? Are you surprised?
I'm not too surprised. I mean, I'm actually more surprised that we found anyone that was actually in favor of gun rights. But considering with the recent mass shooting in Vegas, of course, people are very emotional about it. They regurgitate what they hear in the media, and a lot of them don't actually understand. And we saw that today because a lot of the people we talked to were more confused about it. And once you cite facts like places where there are more guns, there's less crime, they think about it. And on top of that, it seems a lot of people are mad at Trump, and by using that example, they think that Trump is the next Hitler, but somehow they're okay with Trump taking the guns, which is a little odd in my opinion.
They also had a hard time understanding the monopolization of violence, the monopolization of guns into hands of a select few group of people. Because let's face it, when you are for gun control, what that actually means is you are for guns being in the hands of a specific group of people. And I hope that we at least educated some people today to be able to, look into this with more of an open mind moving forward in Canada, as I'm sure these laws are going to be coming up more so here in Canada as they try to restrict our gun rights.
Absolutely. Our right to bear arms is intrinsic within our ability to defend our life, liberty, and property. It's incredibly important. And unfortunately, a lot of people think guns grow legs, walk around, and shoot people, which I've never seen. Once we actually get a video of something like that happening, please send it to me because I'd be very interested to see. Otherwise, it's individuals who are terrible people using guns to kill other good individuals, and then good people shooting back, and that is so important to us being able to defend ourselves, and then of course defend ourselves against future authoritarian government.
And that's the bottom line. That's what the Second Amendment is about. That's what it should be here about in Canada as well. So hopefully we educated some fellow Canadians as to what needs to be done with gun control in Canada moving forward, or lack thereof. So that's it. We hope you enjoyed the video. Check the links in the description to find Josh on YouTube if you haven't subscribed already, World Alternative Media, and of course subscribe to us here at Press for Truth as well. Check the links in the description, and thanks for tuning in.